Samsung, proud sponsor of Tech Busters.
Welcome back. This is Tech Busters. It was recently announced that the global advertising giant WPP is set to buy a controlling stake in leading South African digital agency Quirk. The agency was set up in 1999 by Rob Stokes and now employs over 200 people across various offices, including Joburg, Cape Town, and London. And one of those people is in the studio with me, Managing Director Justin Spratt. I mean, it's quite a sign of faith, isn't it? Not only in Quirk, but also in digital agencies in Africa, given the recent deal with Cerebra, another digital marketing agency.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a few agencies that have been bought, a few digital agencies, and it is a big vote of confidence. I think, 3 of the big 4 advertising networks globally are very interested in our market. Our particular deal had 3 of those 4 involved in competing bids. And a lot of the people in the industry are also talking to these guys. It shows a massive vote of confidence. We know that those guys have recently been in the Far East in China, and it would appear that their checkbooks and balance sheets are now being brought to this continent. And we really do think it is one of these interesting frontier markets. It provides not just underdeveloped and poor economies, but economies that are kind of poised for great success, great uptick in momentum. And if you think about it, there's these global investment funds that are looking for places to invest money for future growth, and Africa makes a very good case for that.
It does. I mean, The Economist famously said a couple of years ago that 6 out of the 10 fastest growing economies were in Africa.
That's right.
We know it's true because The Economist said it.
Yes.
But I think it's a bit of a misnomer because much of that is resources and mineral and mining based. It isn't something like a services industry, which is what digital marketing is. So this is a much more encouraging sign for me that there's growth potential in services.
Yeah, I think Africa presents an interesting, I was reading The Economist too, and it predicts that Nigeria will be the 3rd most populous country in something like 20 years. And Africa will have 3 of the top 10 most populous. So the population growth is significant. I think what you're going to see here is, similar to the TED talk that you gave around mobile phones in Africa, the services will come from the bottom and lift up through the top. It won't be Facebook's and social media applications. It'll be health services, economic information and market services for agricultural units and farmers to be able to better trade for their families' money. And that money will then go through and come up through the economy, as opposed to Silicon Valley, where it's really come in at the top venture capital space and has started seeping down. So, much like your TED talk alluded to, there is a lot of opportunity, probably grassroots, probably in the mainstream services, moving up to the higher, more higher margin services later on. But that's good enough. There's a big enough population to drive great growth.
And I agree with you that it's not going to be in the traditional kind of the social media space, is more in real services like health and agriculture. I mean, agriculture, it comes against the background where the Oppenheimers were disinvesting from mining to get into agriculture in Africa. I don't know if you can discuss the financials, but I'm quite sure your bond's been paid off.
A lot of these deals, the money comes later on. So, we're still going through a few regulatory issues. We then go into what's called an earn-out, and earn-outs are usually 4 to 5 years. If we do well and we hit our targets, there is some kind of money at the end of the day. But it really is, for us, it wasn't about an exit, or a soft landing. It's about a takeoff. We really wanted to use this, the WPP network. Great
to have such backing. Yeah. It's an incredible vote in confidence in you and your great ginger friend Rob Stokes.
Yeah, and we're big supporters of gingers amongst other groups that have very little friends. But
it's a horrible thing to say about Spilly.
No, we love gingers. Listen, I think it's a great vote of confidence for us. I think it's a takeoff for us though, because WPP does have a network in Africa, so we can accelerate our ability to get in and service Africa a hell of a lot quicker. And you know what? So far, it's been fantastic. We've had nothing but support. It's been great. It's been super.
I'm not trying to blow hot air, considering you so kindly mentioned my TED talk, but I've seen you travel an incredible amount. Does that mean there's going to be a lot more travel for you? You're going to open more branches? Is there going to be,
We don't know what that means from an African perspective. I suspect you're right. I'll be on the plane a lot more, trying to connect with clients across the continent. We have a lot of global clients coming in through our London office that need a safe haven here to execute their branding and advertising work. And then also from South Africa into Africa, and then obviously African national countries. But it's important to note that Africa is not one homogenous unit. It is an extremely complex tapestry, and we're still working that out. In fact, we're discussing the strategy tomorrow, and that strategy will change quarterly. It's very complicated, super exciting, and lots of travel included. Yes.
Well, there you go, Justin Spratt, who is really one of the smartest people I've met in the industry and who has done some pretty significant things before he got into marketing. Anyway, it's time for our app of the week, and this week it was my turn. And what I thought was that the Radio 702 Talk app turned out to be a whole lot more. Just a disclaimer, I have to say that Aki had nothing to do with the choice of the app, and I'm sure the people at 702 should have words with him about that. But let's have a look at why I like this app so much.